Hey there, this is Kristen from KristenCoaching.com, and today I'm going to be telling you how to resolve the real communication issue in your relationship. I have so many clients asking me how to resolve communication between them and their significant other. A lot of times people say that they just don't know how to communicate with each other, that they just never communicate. Maybe they never talk, they never get along, they just, communication is just super poor, and that is the goal that they want to work on. Just communication sucks, and it's never been good, and that's just how it is. So I want to point out by saying, the first thing is when it comes to communication, you are always communicating with your partner, whether or not it is verbal. We have so many nonverbal ways of communication as well, where it's like a simple eye roll or a folding of the arms or kind of like a facial grimace. Even just like, turning your back to somebody when they're talking to you or not making eye contact. There are so many ways you are communicating. So when you are saying that you think the issue is just communication, that is not true. And I really want to help you get to the underlying root of your communication problem, because that is the big deal, and that is what is driving you and your partner apart. The real issue that you want to be focusing on is not how to improve communication. It's how to create a relationship where your communication is meaningful to you. It doesn't matter how much you communicate, how little you communicate. You just want to be able that when you do talk to your significant other, that it's productive, it's powerful, it's meaningful, and that you're actually getting somewhere. So many couples these days aren't able to talk to one another about serious issues, so they end up having these big blowouts with each other, these huge fights, or even resulting in couples not talking to each other for days or weeks at a time. That is crazy. That is not a healthy dynamic, and it's something that is not necessary. If you and your significant other are really struggling to communicate and it's resulting in these crazy fights or these ignoring each other for multiple days at a time, you have to start setting simple rules in place in order to get your communication to a meaningful and productive point where it is gratifying to both yourself and gratifying to your significant other. Put some simple rules in place. I can tell you all day, kind of tips on how to do. I've taught you guys, how to not interrupt each other when each other are talking, that you don't want to be raising your voice and yelling at one another, that you want to engage in eye contact with each other when both of you are talking, that you want to really actively listen to what your partner is saying and respond to how they say, what they say, and respond to that with your comment, and you're going to have a back and forth dialogue with no interruptions. You're going to set aside time throughout the day to talk. Maybe it's at nighttime before you go to bed, maybe it's in the morning. You want to set aside time to be able to really communicate. So I can tell you all of these things and give you all of these tips, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to start implementing them. I cannot fix your relationship for you, but I can help guide you and tell you the steps, step by step, on how to do it. So it has to take active effort. And if you have a partner in the relationship who isn't willing to make some changes right now, that's okay. Change starts with yourself first. You need to be the one to start modeling this type of behavior. You are the one that can start making this communication in your relationship more meaningful and more productive, and being that role model and the model of how you want to be spoken to and how you would like to speak to your partner. It starts with you. You can do it. It just takes effort. So put some rules in place, some simple communication rules, things that you think are going to be able to help you guys to be able to sit down and just be able to talk things out without it exploding or without it getting to this point where you guys get so frustrated. It's about rules and boundaries, and just start implementing these little things. And it doesn't need to be 10 rules at a time. Maybe just start with one. Maybe just just work on not interrupting each other when the other person is speaking. That's one that I do in my relationship and helps so much. And even that one rule alone is huge because I'm able to say what I need to say, and so does my husband. And I can't tell you just how validating that feels to be able to talk without being interrupted. So why don't you go ahead and start with that rule and really get to the deep underlying issue, which is making your communication more meaningful, gratifying, and valuable for both you and your partner. Please ask me any questions below, comment to this video, subscribe to my YouTube page if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Again, this is Kristen from KristenCoaching.com, and thank you so much for watching.